Now, Hollywood singer, songwriter, actor and musician Luke Goss is taking part in an important auction for Dubai Cares and UNICEF that's designed to help children in need. Goss, originally part of hit British pop band Bros, turned to painting during the pandemic and has recently donated 2 pieces that are up for auction. He joins us now from the US via Zoom. Luke, thank you so much for getting up bright and early for us today. Now, you are donating 2 paintings and they are worth quite a bit. Tell me about them.
Firstly, hello, thanks for having me. Nice to see you, Katie. It's 2 serigraphs, actually. It's the highest level of reproduction that you can get on museum paper. It takes 4 months to make them. I sourced the paper. It took nearly half a year to get the museum paper that we used. They're valued about $100,000 for 2 of them, and I donated to Dubai Cares and UNICEF, and also Meta Nanda, whose initiative was about Art Be a Part, which is trying to bring art to the lives of the young and to us, the young at heart. And I think the infrastructure, design, and our lives can be greatly enhanced by the colours of art, the thinking of art, the opening of our minds with art, and infiltrate that into the thinking of these beautiful young minds that hopefully will shape the future with more daring and more colour and more excitement than we've had lately. And I think once art is encouraged and put back into a place of importance, I think we'll see wonderful ramifications of that. So I wanted to be a part of Art Be a Part and the beautiful charity that's going on. So I think it's more of an honour than a gift, truthfully.
And I think that's such an important message, one that is certainly very inspiring. But tell me, how did you get into this fine art? Because you were a huge pop star back in the 90s. I think we all grew up with you. You went on to feature in more than 40 movies. How did you make that shift from Hollywood into creating these serigraphs?
Well, what happened was once the pandemic hit, I'd always wanted to paint. My first painting was a depiction of Jesus Christ in light. And then I had a desire just to keep painting 26 big art pieces. I had never trained. I'd never been to school for it, never had any idea. I didn't study any other pieces, and I just fell in love with it. I turned down probably, nearly 15 movies in the last 3 years. I got very consumed by the message of it. And painting for me is a language that transcends the sound of our mouths and the sounds of our hearts. And when we speak, it's unifying of any age, of any colour or creed or location on earth. Art has a beautiful voice, and I realised that, and I felt so tethered to that. I couldn't let go. I got somewhat obsessed, I would even say. A couple of exhibitions now have gone well, and the art exhibition I've done in 26 pieces is Exhibition of Love and Faith. Took my name off of it because the message of art, if that's what it's used for, can be powerful because there's a silent observation. Nobody's being told how to think with a painting. So I realized that that's not so invasive, but very powerful. So it just got under my skin, and here we are, it's wonderful.
We've seen a couple of the artworks that you're going to be donating. They're worth about $50,000 each, and you're donating 2 pieces. Now, the auction is for Dubai Cares and for UNICEF in India. So who are you hoping to help? Why is this an important cause for you?
Well, we're, like I say, Meta Nanda, who reached out, and we have a wonderful connection. Her family and her efforts are just so beautiful. It's children. It's the infrastructure of art. It's the learning of art. It's the implementation, whether it be in architecture, design, law, whatever. There's always an element to open up the other side of the brain that brings colour and thinking of others. I think art is very inspired naturally human beings to do with what we feel, what's important to us. And I think if children have a chance to speak, to think, to be heard through the language of art, I think that's a beautiful beginning, because inevitably they'll be running our world. And we need them to have beautiful colour and openness. And I think the connective tissue of art within prejudice or the current situation where there's so many new rules and things we're supposed to do and not supposed to do. I think a child needs a moment just to be, just to enjoy, just to expand naturally. And I feel art is a wonderful place for that. And so I'm extremely passionate about these young minds and these young hearts that are so kind of surrounded by the problems of the world. And art gives them a moment to work themselves out and to find out what their north is. And I'm a big advocate of my art is to do with light. It's to do with oneness, a union of each other and togetherness. So my message personally is that, and I hope that ripples in a good way. But art in general is a voice that I think cannot be quenched and should not be quenched in any way.
Well, it is a fantastic initiative. The auction is taking place on September the 17th at the Taj Hotel in Dubai. We're certainly very excited. Luke, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we wish you the best of luck at the auction.